It seems as though MULN stock actually took a beating from short sellers today. I do know that we actually did get a sell-off in Tesla, and we are looking at the NDX, looking at some bearish price action alongside the SPX as well. But the exponential move to the downside from MULN stock just looks like it's shorted heavily today. Well, let's see what's going to happen within MULN stock within this video. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by. This is ARCa coming at you with a MULN raw price action and technicals thread of analysis. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community in Discord called ARCab. With that said, let's go ahead and dive right into the charts. Okay, so yes, we are looking at a massive sell-off today, and that did, yes, we did have some, we did have a large cap like Tesla coming to the downside alongside the SPX and NDX, but this is really heavy. This is a lot. So now let's go ahead and move on to the next chart to see what we have. So this is the range that we were talking about, being trapped in before facing this immediate capitulation event. If we were to pair technicals with this capitulation event, we can actually, it could potentially be something like this. So I guess we can force a type of bearish formation here, like this. So this would be a right angle triangle that does have a bearish outlook. So now, according to the breakout point, there are two ways to gain that price objective. So we can actually look at the breakout point from right here, and we can apply that trend line to the downside here. So as you can see, we are actually way below that point right here, because the trend line is suggesting a potential drop to the 272 right at 2410, but we are sitting at 2358, now converting the 272 as a form of resistance. So this can potentially be, let's look at this. These candles are very bearish, you guys. So I'm looking at a potential drop to the 20 cent or 21 cent area before a continuation onto the upside. And if we are going to face an upside, it's going to be temporary, and it's only going to be to potentially test both the 2.72 and the resistance from this box range that we were in at about 2665 or 2654. Okay, so let's open up some moving averages to see. Okay, so yeah, we do have the 7-day exponential moving average right over here. So we could actually come back to catch up with them and then continue on to the downside. But let's open up now the SMAs and see what they are suggesting. Suggesting the similar thing. This is a 10-day simple moving average, and it is potentially a form of resistance for us to use to continue on to the downside. Let's move on to the next chart to see what we have here. Okay, so yeah, let's look at the direction for tomorrow and the potentially the following day. So another thing to remember, guys, is that we do have the FOMC minutes coming up on Wednesday the 23rd. A lot of people could likely be selling off in fear of what they might say about continuing after a CPI and PPI beat. There is a potential to where we're going to continue rate hikes and capitulate even further, which, paired with the reverse stock split that people are talking about within MULN, that could actually present a lot of bearish price action. Excuse me. So let's look at the 30-minute here. The 30-minute is suggesting a continuation to the upside. We are an oversold percentile, and we are below the moving average represented by this pink line, which means that we can actually see a potential upside move to use this as a form of resistance before a continuation to the downside. The bi-hourly is suggesting a similar thing right over here. So we are in the deep areas of the bear strength percentile. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, please use this diagram right over here for the new viewers and new listeners as what the zones are called when I'm saying like bear strength or bull weakness. You'll know now. Okay, so yeah, the bi-hourly is suggesting that upside as well. Now, however, the pivot is slightly smaller than the one on the 30-minute, which is very much in accordance to what we're talking about potentially coming back up to test either the 2410, which is less likely. The bigger probability would actually be the SMA. I'm sorry, the EMA 7, which is a 7-day exponential moving average, which could be right about here alongside the resistance range from this box right over here. So we can actually use that as a form of resistance and continuation and continue on to the way down, which is very much what I see the indicators suggesting. The 6 hour is suggesting a continuation onto the downside. This is bringing clarity into what I'm telling you regarding those tests to the resistance. And we are well within the bear strength percentile. We're definitely in the grips of the bear strength, and this is suggesting for sure a continuation onto the downside. Let's go to the 12-hour and see what it says. The 12-hour is absolutely with a downside pivot. Excuse me, we are nosediving here. The moving average is above us, which is very bearish. And I mean, tomorrow is likely to end in red. So based on these metrics here, the daily is also suggesting a continuation to the downside. It is within the shallow areas of the bear strength percentile, which means we can likely be gravitated into bear weakness. But please bear in mind that we do have the moving average above us. Know that I'm not a financial advisor. I can't actually suggest for you to buy or sell any assets. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as a form of entertainment. Do your own DD and we'll be okay. All right, so I can't actually suggest for any type of entry or play within MULN stock. This is, to be honest with you, until the FOMC minutes, I think I'm going to stay cash. I'm not going to be in on anything. This is highly volatile times, and they're very, like, we don't know what's happening, so the indecision in the markets, the markets don't like that indecision. So we just have to practice our risk management, make sure that we have some dry powder set aside for the plays coming up. But, that's about it. I think this is a pretty good place for me to leave off the video. I'll make sure to leave the links in the description below for you to consider joining the trading community ARCa and Discord. Visit me on Twitter. And yeah, with that said, I wish you a good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.